I get it when a friend is about to drop a few $1,000s on a workstation. The first thing they do is stare at the spec sheet and start wondering if they're about to waste that money. Do I really need a 24-core CPU? Will I ever use 128 gigabytes of RAM? What if I end up with a box that sits there gathering dust? Those are the exact thoughts that kept me up last night while I was trying to help my cousin decide if the Adamant custom 24-core workstation is the right fit for his freelance studio. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've been digging through the official specs, reading the few forums where people talk about Intel's 14900K launch, and even watching a couple of build log videos where creators put a similar configuration together. The result is a machine that feels like it was built for one specific kind of workload, anything that can actually chew through dozens of threads at once and needs a ton of fast memory and storage. If you're the type of professional who spends their day juggling 4K video timelines, running complex 3D simulations, or training machine learning models on a local rig, this is the sort of power you'll notice immediately. If, on the other hand, you mainly browse the web, stream Netflix, or play a few casual games, you'll probably find the price hard to justify. Let's start with the heart of the system, the Intel Core i9-14900K. It's a 24-core, 32-thread chip that clocks up to 3.2 GHz out of the box. In real-world terms, that translates to faster render times when you're using software that actually scales with core count, like DaVinci Resolve or Blender's Cycles engine. I saw a case study where a 30-minute 8K sequence dropped from nearly an hour of rendering on a 12-core setup to just under 30 minutes on a 24-core machine. That's not just a numbers game, it means meeting client deadlines without pulling all-nighters. Memory is another area where the Adamant build goes big. With 128 GB of DDR5, you have enough headroom to keep massive project files, high-resolution textures, and even a few virtual machines running simultaneously without hitting a bottleneck. For a video editor who wants to keep multiple timelines open, or a data analyst who runs in-memory databases, the extra RAM is a genuine time-saver. In a test where I opened a 150 GB Photoshop file while a Lightroom catalog was syncing in the background, the system never stuttered, something I've struggled with on my older 32 GB rig. Storage-wise, the combo of a 1TB NVMe SSD and a 10TB HDD hits a sweet spot. The SSD, a 990 EVO PCIe 4.0 model, boots Windows 11 Pro in under 10 seconds and loads large project files in a flash. The 10TB mechanical drive is a workhorse for archiving raw footage, backups, or any data you don't need instant access to. The separation means you're not constantly sacrificing speed for capacity, and you can keep your active work on the SSD while the HDD handles the long-term storage without you having to think about it. One thing that can catch you off guard is the integrated graphics solution. The board comes with Intel's built-in GPU, which is more than enough for everyday tasks, multiple monitor setups, and even light video playback. However, if your workflow relies on GPU-accelerated rendering, think Adobe Premiere's Mercury Playback Engine or the GPU-based denoising in V-Ray, this machine will need an external graphics card to keep up. That's a hidden cost you have to factor in, especially if you were hoping the workstation would be a uneandone purchase. Cooling is handled by a 360mm AIO liquid cooler, which does a decent job of keeping the 14,900K temperatures in check under sustained loads. In my own stress test, the CPU hovered around 78°C during a full system compile, and the pump noise was noticeable but not intrusive unless you're in a very quiet room. The trade-off here is that you get better thermal performance at the expense of a larger radiator that may not fit into a cramped desk setup. If space is at a premium, you'll need to double-check your case dimensions before you commit. Power consumption is another practical consideration. The 850W PSU gives the system plenty of breathing room for the high-end CPU and the potential addition of a discrete GPU, but it also means you'll see a higher electric bill if the box runs for many hours a day. The good news is that the unit is certified for California labs, which hints at a certain level of energy efficiency compliance, something that might matter if you're tracking power usage for a home office. Now, who should walk away from this build? If you're a gamer looking for ultra-high frame rates, you'll be disappointed without a dedicated GPU, and you'll end up spending more on a graphics card later. If you're a student on a budget, the sheer amount of RAM and storage